It's Labor Day. Just got done having a little picnic with the family, eating some good food. Now I'm going to pull the plugs off my car, see what they look like, see if I'm running rich or lean on any of the cylinders, see if I need to redo the spark plugs. Then I'm going to compression test all the cylinders, just see what I'm at, and adjust my timing, because I don't really like where my timing is. I think I'm off one tooth, and as you can tell, it is fully adjusted clockwise, so gotta go another tooth clockwise and then go from there. So cylinder number one looking like it's running a little rich, as you can see by the moisture on there, and it smells like gas. These are the NGK Iridium plugs, that's why the tips are to a point, and the gap is still good. They're still pretty fresh. I put them in at the beginning of this season, so I'm just gonna clean it off a little, put it back in after I do the compression test, and then I gotta figure out why I'm running rich. At least I'm running rich and not lean, because rich won't damage your engine. Lean will increase head temperatures and cause damage to your engine. So luckily I'm not running lean. It seems like all 4 cylinders are running a little rich, so I'm gonna see if I can take care of that. But right now I'm gonna do the compression test, see where we're at on those. Okay, there's no way I'm gonna be able to show this on video, but the second and third cylinder are completely filled with gas. There's like a puddle down there, like at least a ½ an inch of gas down there. So I pulled the fuel pump relay. I'm gonna crank it, get all the gas out of there. And what I think's going on, I don't really know because I've never seen this before, but I think the O-rings on my injectors are leaking a little. So when in between the cycles of the injectors, there's still fluid leaking in there, and it's just not all getting burnt off, and it's just building up. So I'm gonna check that out. Okay, so I cranked my engine with no plugs in it, shot out all that, but after further inspection, this does not smell like gas. It smells like water, which means it doesn't smell like anything. So that means I got a way bigger issue, and I either have a bad head gasket or a crack in my block somewhere that's letting my coolant, because I only use water in my coolant, letting the water from my radiator and my cooling system into my cylinders. So might have another fried KA, might not, I don't know. It's gonna do some further diagnostics, see what I need to do. First cylinder was at 180, which is pretty high, higher than it should be. Cylinder 2 is at 280, which is way too high. That is really bad, and that's because the water's getting there. You can't compress the fluid, which would mean this engine is completely destroyed. Gotta find another KA, which isn't a big deal. I'll find one soon. Dropping it in's nothing, cakewalk. But yeah, bad news. Cylinder 3 is at like 250, also extremely high. And cylinder 4 was at like 210, and it's dropping now, but also really bad. So all my cylinders are getting water into them and are overpressurizing, which means shitty performance. I kind of knew that something was going on with this engine, which is why I was checking everything, but I didn't do the rebuild on this engine. It lasted me a full season and a half, drove great. It still runs pretty good, honestly. It just starts up weird, but I noticed the performance was going down and down and getting worse and worse. So I think what's happening is the head gasket has a leak, or there's a crack somewhere in the block. I don't know, because obviously I didn't do the rebuild, but I think I'm just gonna get a fresh block, maybe a rebuild engine, maybe a completely stock low miles. I don't know, we're gonna find one, but that's gonna be another video in the future. So basically what I'm thinking is I'm gonna throw the plugs back in, do an oil change, put some really thick motor treatment in there, some really thick oil, And then when John gets his car out, we're going to go to a local parking lot. I'm going to help teach him how to drift, and I'm going to beat the crap out of this car until the engine is knocking. Whatever I can do to beat the crap out of it, all the way up in red line, because basically this motor is junk. Hopefully I can find the motor, get it dropped in before October 15th, I think it was, which is the last event of the year basically in this area. I honestly don't think I will be able to find a motor that quickly and get it in, but I'm going to try. I'm going to Vegas for a week, the last week of September, so that takes a week out of my life. And yeah, so next year I will definitely have a new motor in it. I will be going next year. Me and John will be doing drift events next year together. So I got all winter to work on it, but I would like to compete in this drift event coming up on October 15th. Honestly, now that I think about it, it might just be a head gasket, and I could just throw a head gasket in it, but that's kind of playing the guessing game and hoping for the best. But it would make for a good video, me doing a head gasket on a KA, and it'd be fun, and I can get it done in a few days, maybe. Maybe I'll make it in a day after work or on a weekend. But I'm gonna have to wait till John gets his car out of my garage so I can be in my garage just in case it rains or the weather or whatever. But I think I might just throw a head gasket in and hope for the best and see what happens. Hopefully it fixes it. If not, whatever, I spent $25 or whatever a head gasket is and wasted the day of my life, but I guess it's worth it. So beating the crap out of my engine is not gonna happen, I think. I don't know, I'm still tossing it up. Might just throw a head gasket in and hope for the best.